United Nations resolutions condemning the Israeli occupation. Resolution number 57. This resolution was issued on September 18, 1948, in which the Security Council expressed its violent shock at the assassination of the United Nations mediator in Palestine, Count Folke Bernadotte, as a result of a cowardly act committed by a criminal group of terrorists in Jerusalem.
Resolution number 59 of October 19, 1948, in which the Security Council expressed its concern that Israel had not submitted a report on the assassination of Count Bernadotte and affirmed the duty of governments to cooperate with the staff of the oversight body.
Resolution number 101 issued on November 24, 1953, in which the Security Council condemns Israel's attack on Kibbutz on October 14, 1953.
The United Nations General Assembly Resolution 194 is a resolution adopted near the end of the 1947-1949 Palestine War. The resolution defines principles for reaching a final settlement and returning Palestine refugees to their homes. Article 11 of the resolution resolves that
Resolution number 237, issued in 1967, dated June 14th, in which the Security Council calls on Israel to respect human rights in the areas affected by the 1967 Middle East conflict, taking into account the urgent need to alleviate further suffering for the civilian population and prisoners of war in the conflict zone in the Middle East.
Resolution number 242, issued in 1967 as a result of Israel's occupation of the West Bank, the Golan Heights, Gaza, and Sinai, stipulated the necessity of the occupation forces withdrawing from the countries they occupied during the last period, the 1967 war.
Resolution No. 248, issued in 1968, dated March 24th, condemning the widespread and deliberate Israeli military attack against Jordan that resulted in the Battle of Karameh.
Resolution number 271 of 1969, dated September 15th, condemns Israel for burning Al-Aqsa Mosque on August 21st, 1969, and calls for the cancellation of all measures that would change the status of Jerusalem.
Resolution number 317 of 1972, dated July 21st, in which the Security Council expressed its regret at Israel's failure to return the kidnapped Syrian and Lebanese army and security personnel, and called on it to return them without delay.
Resolution number 425, issued in 1978, was issued as a result of the Litani operation, and after Israel seized areas in southern Lebanon, in order to effect an Israeli withdrawal and establish a buffer zone free of guerrillas in southern Lebanon. The resolution called on Israel to withdraw and to establish a United Nations temporary force in Lebanon, UNIFIL.
Resolution number 468 of 1980, dated May 8th, the Security Council calls on Israel, in its capacity as the occupying power, to rescind the illegal and deportation measures it took against the mayors of Hebron and Halhul and the Sharia judge of Hebron.
Resolution number 469 of 1980, dated May 20th, in which the Security Council once again calls on Israel to cancel the measures taken against the 3 Palestinian leaders and to facilitate their immediate return so that they can resume the positions to which they were elected and appointed.
Resolution number 497 of 1981, dated December 17th, calling on Israel to de facto annex the Golan Heights.
Resolution number 573 of 1985, dated October 4th, in which the Security Council condemns the Israeli aggression against Tunisia, which caused heavy loss of life in addition to significant material damage, and urges the member states of the United Nations to take measures to discourage Israel from similar aggressive acts.
Resolution number 592 of 1986, dated December 8th, in which the Security Council condemns the Israeli army's shooting against civilians, which led to the death and injury of a number of Birzeit University students.
Resolution number 605 of 1987, dated December 22nd, in which the Security Council denounces Israeli practices that violate the human rights of the Palestinian people in the occupied territories, and requests Israel to immediately and strictly adhere to the Geneva Convention relating to the protection of civilians in times of war.
Resolution number 607 of 1988, dated January 5th, requests that the Security Council refrain from deporting Palestinian civilians from the occupied territories.
Resolution number 608 of 1988, dated January 5th, requires Israel to cancel the deportation order for Palestinian civilians and ensure the return of those who have already been deported.
Resolution Num 611 of 1988, dated April 25th, in which the Security Council condemns the Israeli aggression against Tunisia that occurred on April 16, 1988, which resulted in the loss of human lives and led in particular to the assassination of Khalil al-Wazir.
Resolution Number 636 of 1989 of July 6th requires Israel to ensure the return to the occupied territories of those deported, 8 Palestinian civilians on June 29, 1989, and for Israel to cease deporting any other Palestinian civilians. Resolution Number 641 of 1989, dated August 30th, denounces Israel's continued deportation of Palestinian civilians, deportation of 5 Palestinian civilians on August 27, 1989, and requests Israel to ensure the immediate return of those deported.
Resolution number 672 of 1990, dated October 12th, condemns the acts of violence committed by Israeli security forces on October 8, 1990, on the Holy Mosque, which resulted in the killing of more than 20 Palestinians and the wounding of more than 150 people, Palestinian civilians and innocent worship.
Resolution number 673 of 1990, dated October 24th, deplores the Israeli government's refusal to receive the Secretary-General's mission and urges it to comply with UN Security Council Resolution number 672 of 1990. Resolution number 681 of 1990, dated December 20th, denounces Israel's decision to resume the deportation of Palestinian civilians in the occupied territories.
Resolution number 694 of 1991, dated May 24th, denounces Israel's deportation of Palestinians, which constitutes a violation of the Geneva Convention relative to the protection of civilian persons in time of war.
Resolution number 726 of 1992, dated January 6th, requires Israel to avoid deportation decisions.
Resolution number 799 of 1992, dated January 19th, condemns Israel's deportation of 418 Palestinians to southern Lebanon, violating its obligations under the 4th Geneva Convention of 1948, and requests Israel to ensure the immediate and safe return of all deportees to the occupied territory.
Resolution number 1860 of 2009, dated January 8th, regarding a ceasefire after the attack on Gaza, December 2008.
Resolution number 2334 of 2016, dated December 23rd, which urged an end to Israeli settlements in the Palestinian territories.